Okay.
Good evening, Darlene.
I don't know who you talking to.
We're live at Liberty Hill Improvement Council meeting at train station, October 2023.
Hey, how you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
You walk past the sign.
We're not here, but I just see you shouting at people.
Darlene.
That's all he do, shout at you. With the handkerchief. Yes, that's. What you gonna do when I say?
Shout with them.
Kiki, right?
Darlene, God bless you. Oh, man.
I'm serious.
Well, praise the Lord.
You right, praise.
Was you ready for?
Huh?
Like my history. See you bother me? You see what they say?
Darlene,
I said Santa Claus coming to you this year.
remember what you said. Thank you so much. You can go ahead. Yeah. How are you?
That's my papi.
Okay. Just open up. a little.
Can we stand for prayer, please? Our hearts, my pleasure. Father God, we come to you on this day. Thank you for what you have done for us, Father God. We thank you for this hour. Father God, we thank you that you allow us to come from last month to this month. We ask that you come in the midst of this meeting and guide and direct us. And as we come together with ideas that you be involved in, that you get all the praise and all the honor. These are our prayers. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Well, welcome everybody to our October Liberty Hill Improvement Council meeting. We're glad you all were able to make it out. And thought it not robbery to be here. We're gonna start off with, first of all, thanking everybody who worked on the forum, the mayor's forum and the candidate forums. I don't know, have y'all seen it yet? Those who was not able to be there, but it's on YouTube, so you can go back and visit. It's on our YouTube channel, Liberty Hill Community North Charleston, and then it's on our Facebook page, Liberty Hill Union page, and Liberty Hill Improvement Council page. So you're welcome to go visit that. You know, if you want, some of the candidates and what they stand for is there. But it was a success. We had partnered, the Liberty Hill Alliance had partnered with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, North Charleston London chapter, and they were wonderful with helping. And then Roy was great with making sure that we had a good setup, great. So we thank everybody who came out to help. And let's give them a hand. And this weekend, we went to Gullah Geechee Corridor Heritage Celebration. That's a mouthful. Gullah Geechee Corridor Heritage Celebration in Beaufort. Liberty Hill is one of the communities in the Gullah Geechee Corridor. So they're trying to revitalize the communities. Going to Beaufort was a wonderful experience because you heard the Gullah language. They did little plays and musicals. They did cooking, everything. They sold books, children's books, and guess what? They got Liberty Hill in here.
Right.
So we bought several books from one of the authors, and they got Liberty Hill Street. And, so Liberty Hill is expanding. I guess that's my whole point. And we just thank God for that because we want to continue to get our history solidified in the American history. So, because we've been here for over 152 years, so we want that, to be a community still thriving, you know. We'll go to higher heights to be a community still thriving. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Okay. Let's see, don't forget to vote November 7th. Go to scvotes.org, scvotes.org. Please check your registration. I have several people that check their registration after they voted. They found out their registration was not right, their votes did not. So check it before you vote, check it now. That way you can clear up any issues, whether it's your address or, you know, voted in the wrong precinct, they didn't update the records, and, you know, anything can go wrong. So please make sure that you check your record before voting. Okay, let's see, our resource officer and code enforcement, not here right now. So we're gonna move on. We have a couple of guests. I think I'm gonna start with Ms. Kay Hyman. She's running for District 8. We already had Mr. Parker, Mr. Hudson, Mr. Perry, and Mr. Middleton. So we would like Ms. Kay to come and address us.
Well, thank you so much. So, actually being in this building is kind of interesting because I've lived here my entire life, 63 years. I lived in my childhood home, which is 2 blocks from Nixon, and I've seen a lot of change and a lot of things happening. Wasn't really thrilled with the train station being completely demolished. I really wanted that history to stay, and I know they do have some parts of it. I am a huge advocate for Liberty Hill. My husband has painted the mural of the freedmen that is over at the recreation center. Been very involved my entire life, which is, you were talking about history. I'll get it a little reclaim, but I've always felt like Liberty Hill was the heart of North Charleston, and I never really felt like the city acknowledged that. So I'm really glad to be able to sit here in front of you. I'm a mom, I'm an ally, I'm a voice. I've worked for the last 30 years for Charleston Animal Society, advocating for animals and working with legislators and congressmen, senators throughout our state to get legislation to help people and pets. Before that, I worked with my father to make this city a city. I petitioned when I was like 13. I walked around and got petitions signed for us to become a city. I worked on campaigns behind the scenes for local candidates as well as national candidates. In December of last year, I had breast cancer, and I had run in 2011 against Bob King. Yeah, I did. I came in second, even though it was like half the amount of votes he got. But it still was second. I was very proud of that. And is that my time?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're not at a
Okay. So I ran in 2011, and it was a really eye-opening experience for me. I learned a lot about our community and about what it means to run. And I always advocated that I would run again when Bob didn't run again, because I knew that Bob had it sewn up, and District 8 was Bob. So I saved my signs from 2011, and those are the first signs that you see that have just my name, Kay, and then Hyman. So I saved 89 of those, so they're vintage and repurposed. Very proud of that. That's how I am. But I do, I feel very strongly about this community. I feel very strongly about North Charleston, and I truly want to serve, and that's why I'm running. I still will work for the Charleston Animal Society, but I will be an advocate and a voice for you as well. So thanks for having me today. I'm sorry I missed the last meeting. I wasn't feeling well, but I'm glad to be here tonight.
Glad to have you.
And I want to, real quick, I just want to remind you that my husband definitely wants to look at if there is another mural. You know, no matter what happens on November 7th, we want to be involved in Liberty Hill.
Wonderful. Oh,
So, thank you. And thanks for listening.
Anybody have questions for her?
Oh.
Yeah, what?
No questions? Okay, that was easy. Very good, very good. So, our next speaker, I still see court enforcement here, is Miss Ingrid Centurion.
Oh,
Right? Yeah, did you want to tell us who that you're about?
okay.
Okay.
I'm just here to listen,
Oh, okay.
but sure, I will, you know.
Yeah, we want to hear what you have going on in the community.
Yeah, sure. So let me see. I have all my stuff in the car, although, so I can go back and get it. So.
Just tell us, yes, a little bit about.
Sure, yeah,
your
my name's
initiatives.
Ingrid. Oh, let's see a few people that I've seen before. I don't know all your names, but my name is Ingrid Centurion, and I'm the founder of Generations for America. I have a 501c4 and a 501c3. And so what we're doing is we're doing things in the community. And there's 3 pillars of Generations for America. The first one is to help small businesses, because small businesses in North Charleston need a lot of help. I'm working with a business right now that could possibly go under, and they have no resources, they have no help, so I'm working with that small business right now. The second thing we do is we want to educate and do things with public health and safety. And then the third pillar is civic engagement. You know, so many people, you know, don't come out to vote, and so many people don't understand the governance process. So I have been educating people in that area. Like, we have a meeting once a week in Goose Creek, because I live in Goose Creek. And we go over, every week we meet, we've gone over the North Charleston budget. We've gone over just resources in North Charleston that people don't know about. So nobody knows about these things until they have a problem, right? Then they're calling you. So, and that's the way it is. So I've had my first event last year. It was an event that I had in North Charleston, in the Baptist church by the Campers World. And it was to bring everybody together and have community resource partners there. It was with the church and the Hispanic church. They have a Spanish church there. They have a Hispanic congregation. So we brought them all together, and we had interpreters. So they knew the resources, because they come, they see, but they don't understand the language. So I was working with all the community partners to translate their information into Spanish and Portuguese, because we have a big Portuguese community here as well. So that's all I'm trying to do good things in the community, and that's how it started off. You know, you have to know the resources, and you normally don't know them until the emergency happens. And the helping the small businesses, and the last thing, what I was saying, is civic education. So last week I had a debate for the mayor's race, and it was in City Hall. It was for 2 hours, and it was really great, and I reached out to the community for questions. And so they were all on stage there. They were able to answer the questions. We also took questions from the community, because you go to all these forums and they're all answering the same question. And a lot of them copied the same answer that the one said before. So we gave them really difficult questions, and questions to learn more about them, like their personalities, right? You may not know the person. So we got them off their game. We saw their personalities in this event, and people really liked it. And they actually have asked me, they've reached out to me to have another debate for council members in District 10 and 8, I believe. I think that's what maybe there's another one in there. So I'm out here to find out, you know, more about the community, and a lot of people don't understand what the council member's job is. And that's what we have to learn. We have to hold people accountable, but at the same time, we have to understand the governance process, because he could be the greatest guy, but he just was never able to get anything done because, you know, maybe he doesn't really have the social skills that's needed to influence others, right? Or you watch all these reality TV shows, and, you know, people get together, they have to compromise, they have to work things out, and those are the skill sets you're probably looking for when, you know, you vote for someone. It's just because he's your friend or just because he's your cousin doesn't mean he's going to do a great job. But we really want all what's best for North Charleston, And like I said, my heart is in helping the community and the small businesses who really need it. And that's what Generations for America does. So I'm here today because conserving and preserving is important. We talked about this. And in some of the meetings that I've gone to, we came up with an idea. I told you this, maybe you guys came up with the idea, is like conserving and preserving all the churches in Liberty Hill. And you know, you go to other places on tourism, North Charleston Airport's 15 minutes away, right? Wouldn't it be awesome if they would land and then people could go on this tour in Liberty Hill of all the old churches, and we would revive them and restore them and share the history of Liberty Hill. And that was something that I think that'd be a great initiative about preserving, and then also bringing people in to eat at the restaurants, to help the small businesses. That's what you need to do. But there's all kinds of ideas, and ideas are all great, but if you don't make them happen, it's just an idea. And you need, you know, a team of people to make things happen, and that's what I'm here for, to be a part of that. So that's just a little bit. So I'm here,
Thank you.
and I have my card here.
Thank you. The parallels of what we're doing, trying to get Liberty Hill as a national landmark and preserve our history, because we have rich history. And believe it or not, for about 100 years, we've had like 50 to 60 thriving businesses here on Liberty Hill, and we want to bring those back.
Oh.
Yeah, so then we want to bring back the restaurants, we want to bring back the beauty salons, we want to bring back the auto shops, and y'all help me out. And
Corner stores.
corner stores and upholstery shops, and so we can be a thriving community. So hopefully, within the next 5 to 10 years, it's in our plans and on our radar, we'll rebuild the Montague corridor to bring back some businesses and some economics to rebuild. So we'll be pulling you in to help us, you know, with preserving the history, which would be great, especially for the churches. Thank you. I still don't see the resource officer here, but they did send a report on Liberty Hill on 4886 Gaynor Avenue. There was a car stolen at that address, and also at 4879 Nesbitt. At 1517 Cantwell, there was a break-in and entry of a vehicle. So I just want to.
So there's 2 cars stolen?
Right, it was 2. That's the report they have. So, like they said, keep your doors locked, you know, be careful, know your surroundings when you get in your vehicle or getting out of your vehicle. Okay. Any questions? All right, we'll go to our financial report. Our treasurer.
Good evening, I'm Ancita Mitchell, the treasurer for Liberty Hill Improvement Council. Our beginning balance was $8,007.54. Our expenses were $2,361.54, and that makes our ending balance at this time $5,646.
Okay. Committee reports. Let's start with the Historical Society. We have a report, Historical Society.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Candida Joy. I am the Vice President of the Liberty Hill Historical Preservation Society. Just to bring you an update on what we have been doing. We participated with the Liberty Hill reunion back here in September. This past Saturday, we went down to Beaufort and participated with the Galagigi Festival. On November the 25th, we'll have our last workshop. We have been doing a workshop trying to get resident of Liberty Hill and whoever that are interested in learning how to research a family tree. So on the 25th of November will be our last workshop. And the workshop is held at the Keith Sunday Library from 11 to 1 on Saturday.
That's the 25th, you said?
Yes, it's 25th of November. For this year, our last event will be for the, what's the festival that's the Christmas?
This one here?
No, after Christmas, 26th. What does,
Here, in January?
in December?
Is it Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa,
Oh,
Kwanzaa, yeah. I always forget about that. We're gonna have a table set up representing Liberty Hill, the Historical Society. Right now, we don't know, we haven't gotten where it's gonna be at, but we, was asked to set up a table. That's going to be our last, event for this year. Our goal is to really get everyone involved in knowing how to research the history, knowing the history of Liberty Hill, because a lot of residents on Liberty Hill do not know the history of Liberty Hill, because Liberty Hill was actually 112 acres of wooded land and farmland. So that means everybody on Liberty Hill migrated from someplace else. So we are trying to get everyone to do the family history so we can put it all together. And eventually we're gonna, down the road, we're gonna write a book. We're gonna tell our story about Liberty Hill. So anyone have any question, anything, but that's what we are, the Historical Society, is doing right now.
Any updates about the application for the National Registry?
No. We're still working on that also too, getting Liberty Hill on the historical registry. We were told that's gonna take 3 to 5 years in order to do that. It's
Why?
not something you just, why? Once we do the research and send the information, then they have to do the research also too. There's a lot of requirement that they're looking for that we ourselves don't have. We have to hire people. One, we don't have the money. We need funds, so it's a long process. It's not.
And the city wanted to try to help us. And they're hiring architects because each property has to be certified through our architectural firm to, I guess, legitimize the history. So, like she said, it takes money, so.
So we need architectural firms?
We need
Specialized, yes, for that. They're, I think, in the process of getting money approved for that project, so.
But you know how the city work also too, and on their time.
Yeah.
And each project, like each house or whatever, has to be, 60 years old and over? 50 years old and over. And we don't have that many homes that are still on the hill, because a lot of them is torn down, but the ones that are here, we're not qualified. I'll certify, you're right, certified to go in there and answer the questions that they address to us. So we need someone to specialize in that area. So if you know anybody who can help us.
The Kwanzaa celebration, is it the city of Charleston? Where are you doing that, the tabling?
I don't know right now. I just found out that today from my president saying that we're going to participate in that. I don't think it's the city of North Charleston.
The city of Charleston does it at Marion Square. My husband built that, the candles out there, so if you guys need any props or anything for that, I'd be happy to help. He would love to do that. He went to Bonds Wilson and he's very invested.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah,
That's
my
good to know.
husband. Like when he segregated. 70, he graduated 76. Sorry, I didn't say that.
No, that's fine.
Oh, I mean, that's real.
But he loves it. He wants to, and he's an artist and he wants to help, so. Despite what happens with the elections, we're here, we're not going anywhere.
They want to ask you if you're contacted with the city that's following up on the historic.
Right now, we're working with Adam and Dawn.
Champion,
Yeah. Dawn is the historical,
archivist.
yeah, for the city. And Adam is the assistant to the mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the Historical Society. All right, now, is anybody representing this union group here? Okay.
This year, junior high fifth day, union group. Right now, the only things that we have going on, November 16th, we're having a Thanksgiving dinner for early Thanksgiving. And hopefully in December 9th, we'll be having Christmas on the Hill. So that's what the reunion group has going on right now. So we're gonna give more information about the Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas on the Hill as we move on.
And I think you're looking for volunteers too.
Oh, yeah, we're looking for volunteers. Any volunteers and every volunteer, anybody that wants to volunteer to come help us, come on out on, the 16th, which is, I think Thursday next month. And then anybody that wants to volunteer for Christmas on the Hill, we need it now, so we can start planning for that.
I think we have a list circulating.
Right, the list is ready for Christmas on the Hill.
Volunteers, and I know many volunteers for advertisement, to help with the vendors, to set up and break down, to help cook food, next generation. But last year it was a success. We had all this carnival food. We had candy apple cotton candy, caramel popcorn, funnel cakes, yeah, ball peanuts, next generation, hot chocolate, hot coffee. Next generation that cooked sausage dogs with the onions and the peppers, and the smell went off throughout the place. It was wonderful. And they did
We got a barbecue by the family in the house.
hot dogs with that specialty chili from was Tamika.
Yes.
That's the world's best chili, y'all. You got to try it. And we had easy flow line dancing. We had praise dancing. We had Royal Male Choir came out and sang some Christmas songs. We gave away door prizes, and we had our Christmas tree contest. We had about 10 different streets and organizations that decorated Christmas trees, and we gave away first, second, and third place prizes. So y'all share the word, come out. We're gonna be putting that save the date out soon. And for each one of our events, we usually send out flyers. We either put it Facebook, email, or text it to you. So, and we just ask that you share it with any and everybody, because this is a community event for the whole Charleston area to come see the video and fellowship with us. So hopefully it'll be a success again this year. Hopefully it'll be bigger and better this year. More lights and I think you said it was good to come through Liberty Hill and see lights in the morning.
Yeah, early in the morning.
Early in the morning, so that was good.
Yeah, there's no lights around here.
Right, especially Christmas lights, to light up the area. So Dexter was pleased to see that. So hopefully we'll be bigger and better, where each street can have something on their street, either to decorate a tree or a little park area for the community. So we're working on that. So sign up to be a volunteer, because we need you. And then October, in the next generation have Oktoberfest. As in a neighborhood, we try to have something every month. If we don't have it, we collaborate with another group. So we're gonna be helping, with Oktoberfest with Next Generation. Their event is,
October 28th, it's gonna be from 12 to 5. It's a, Oktoberfest / health fair. And so, we have, MUSC as well as Roper and Feather.
Further back up, didn't have enough manpower, but we're gonna have about 6 health screenings. There'll be, meet between Roper and Medical University. We'll have health screenings, providers out there doing health screenings.
Right, and that's gonna start at 9. So, right, they're gonna be
They're gonna
starting
be
at
setting
9.
up at 9, and the sooner people get out there, they'll start seeing people, because we want it to be jam-packed. We wanna make sure we educate as much people and get as much people screened as possible, pre-screened for diabetes, blood pressure, hypertension, skin grafts. We're doing, the whole 9 yards, and, the providers will be out there as early as 9 o'clock setting up. So as soon as they get set up, they'll be prone to start, screening.
okay,
We definitely hope to have an overflow when we have a lot of people, we can start recommending them to come back or come back. The providers come back another day, shortly afterwards to finish off. But excited about it. We're expecting a whole lot of people to come out. So we'll be doing that in the front of the park and then toward the center side. And so we'll have barbers coming out to do slight haircuts and petitions if there anybody that kids that need haircuts. And
We're getting stylists out there as well, doing the girls here as well.
yeah, and we'll have DJ, and we'll also have some fellowship in the back of the park. We'll have vendors, food and vendors in the back of the park.
It's free food.
Free food.
yeah, I
for
think everything's
everybody.
free.
Yes, everything.
Y'all heard that? Everything's free.
Free food.
What was that date again?
October 28th.
It's free.
October 28th at Felix Picnic Community.
And we'll have some vendors out there, they'll be, selling like crafts and different things like that, but the food will be free.
Okay, okay.
And we are always looking for volunteers, so if anyone wants to volunteer, you see me in Marlin, we'll take your name down and contact you.
All right. So I guess put your name on that volunteer list, and whether you're gonna help with Oktoberfest, Christmas on the Hill. Thanksgiving, we usually partner with, Next Generation also. We feed the community, and the guys usually pass out the food to the infirm in the community and the elderly. So we have it right here. We usually have a pretty good time, play music and games, and eat, drink, and be merry. Yeah, so that's, November meeting, the 3rd Thursday of November. That's our Thanksgiving dinner.
Just much wondering, if you do, have to share the flyer.
You should have it, right? I can send it to you.
Yes, yeah, please send it to me. I think I saw it on the Facebook page, but I can't access your page again, so.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay, I usually forward it around, so, yeah,
That'd be great.
so that'd be good. Thank you. Okay, anything else y'all want to announce that y'all doing?
No, that's it.
No, that's it,
Yeah,
okay.
focus on what they have. We want this, we're excited about this. It's an opportunity for us to educate our community on, and address any health issues, and maybe even help people find providers that can actually, get them screened and help them, take care of themselves. So, definitely.
And one thing about Next Generation, y'all always have this every October. This is their
Yes.
Oktoberfest for the community, so which is a good thing.
And if you want to partner with us the next year, let us know.
Right, and the good thing is this time around with the health fair, the medical provider said that they want to make this an annual thing as well, so that's going to be a great piece to be able to have them on board with us. And so we're constantly looking for different ways that we can, what's that, I think you said that the wraparound services is happening. And so we're looking for a way that we can be that guy, you know? So.
Yeah, which is really needed in this community, wraparound services. Wraparound services is just additional services people need. Even with signing up for Medicare, Medicaid, getting health care assistance, all of that's important in our small community. Because we have a lot of elderly people, so that's important. So thank you. Okay, thank you. Redevelopment group, you have any reports?
Good evening. Redevelopment group is in the final phase of with the $500,000 grant we received from the county. We have approximately $89,000 left to spend, and it's spent, but we need to get the paperwork through the county to actually spend the money. And we're looking for additional funding to continue. It's like we said from the beginning, it is a $100 million effort, and we are looking to rebuild Liberty Hill a whole lot better than it was. And as Valerie talked about, we're going to rebuild the Montague Quarter. We're going to build new houses in some of the vacant lots that we have, and we're going to continue to rehab current homes in the community. And this is a monumental effort, and we are 2 years into the 10-year plan, and in about 8 years, and I'll start backing away and training another younger person, because I'm getting old, and bring them into the fold. And when I say the younger people, next generation, these guys, I mean, I'm really, really, really excited about your enthusiasm in the community and all that you're doing. It gives me great joy to see you all doing what you're doing, and it's greatly impacted the community. So we want to thank you all. And when I start to bow out, you know I'm going to look. Any questions? So, thank you.
Questions? Okay.
Is there anywhere we can access that plan? Is there,
Yes, we have, we can send it to you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Because we have, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Because we had it written some years ago, and it's about this big. And we've been doing small things along the way. And thus far, we have renovated about 50 homes in the community. And we have a long way to go to get to our goal. And what our next step is to show tremendous progress on both Gaynor and Montague. Gaynor, because the train comes in to North Charleston, it's the first street that you see coming into North Charleston. We want to make sure that we spruce it up so it'll look beautiful coming into North Charleston and leaving North Charleston. When we go down Montague, that's where we want people to, instead of driving 65 miles an hour through Liberty Hill, we want you to slow down and stop and spend some money. And that's what we're gonna build a gas station there so that they have a reason to stop. We're gonna have a bank there. We're gonna have a grocery store as well. Nice. And we're working with an agency right now to get the grocery store. I don't know if that's gonna actually come to pass, but we're working on that. And next is we have to talk with folks about bringing a bank. Once we get those three entities in the community, that's what caused the community to grow. A gas station, a bank, and a grocery store. And we haven't had a grocery store in Liberty Hill in a very, very, very long time. The last one was Lynn's Red and White. And it closed when I was a kid. So we're due to have another one. And we're looking forward to that growth in the community again, so that we can invite some of the doctors. I mean, they're building a $1 billion hospital right over there, and right next to the City Hall. So we want to capitalize on some of those funds that are coming into North Charleston. We want to make sure that Liberty Hill is a part of that, so that we can continue to grow the community. We want to invite young people of childbearing years to come in and raise families here. Just like I grew up right down the street there, and I mean, we used to play all over the community. And that's what we want to continue to have for the next 152 years.
Have you been getting any support from the city?
We got a donation from the city, and we worked, we had a meeting with Adam about 3 weeks ago. And he spoke about some streetscape things that are coming into North Charleston, and, into Liberty Hill. And we've kind of been working that for about a year and a half now. And it's been in the works for longer than that. But we also have an initiative to take the power lines down on Montague, put them underground. But in order to do that, we have to
It's a big deal.
yeah, we have to talk to the residents to give a portion of their land to, and it's not, they're not giving it away, but just to have the transformer on their lots. But we're also gonna reduce the lanes on Montague to look more like it is a park circle. And we have businesses, and again, it's gonna be, this is gonna be the Wall Street of North Charleston.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The heart on the hill, the heart.
It is. Liberty Hill was the first community that was annexed into city of North Charleston. And it's the oldest. It's 102 years older than the city itself. So we have a great history here, and we need to capitalize on what's already happened, and then we're going to grow into the future. Yes. Questions?
And we do have a copy of the revitalization plan. It's on the Living Hill Reunion page.
Okay.
You can just click on that. It says Living Hill Revitalization Plan. And that's just a pictorial part of it. But like Mr. Craig said, it's an extensive, comprehensive plan. We have a copy of it. And if you like, maybe stop by the office. And,
Yeah.
talk about it.
Our office is at 4656 King.
Thank you.
I grew up in that house. Any more questions? Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Beautification, committee.
Good evening, my name is Dexter Wright. Sorry about that last month meeting, but there were some things that were going on, and we saw in the committee when we walked with the police officers. We walked last month, and Kona, Miles Wilson, and Nelson, I think it is. Lester?
Which one?
Crossroad, yeah.
The one that run
With
by my property?
Pinky family live it?
Lester.
Okay, there was a big tree that hollow up, and it was gonna come down. So I talked to somebody in the city, and we got that tree down. Last week, someone came through Nesbitt with a big truck and knocked a limb down on Nesbitt with a Elliott family live at. So I got with the state, and they came in and cleared that up. And I'm trying to get them back. We call it work orders, things will get done. It might be 90 days, but they get done. So I ask you that you use the work order system. Call the state, or call City of North Charleston. I'm getting some guys, this is the kind of work I like to work at. Clean some property on Liberty Hill, because we were doing it in the summertime, yeah, the snakes out there. And Craig out, we were the snakes. So this is the time where I like to work in. So we'll be bringing more to the table. Anybody, any questions?
Yeah, Derek, give me a call too, but cleaning up, and I will help out too.
Okay.
To just reach out.
Thank you.
And we've got a little bit of equipment now to help the process of redevelopment groups, even Mr. Craig, that can help the process. So thank you for all you do. Okay. Any other committees that I'm forgetting? Any other committees? Nope. Okay. New business. I want to first talk a little bit about land. So you can just wave at us. we have Dr. Give me your whole name, Rover Crabtree Rover. She's on the Lampsey board. But I wanted to present that, the Liberty Hill Redevelopment Group is signing an MOU with Lampsey. Lampsey is sort of like an overseer of our communities, right?
Yes.
And they kind of provide information for us and resources for us so we can continue to thrive as a community. So what the redevelopment group decided to do is to partner with Lampsey to get more funding. They will be our fiscal agent so we can get funding through the state. There's a small 2-year nonprofit, we don't qualify. So, but Lampsey's been around for probably 20 years plus. Yeah, over 20 years. And they have the maturity as well as the connections to be that fiscal agent for us. So, but we have to sign an MOU with them. Yes, sir. You want to say something?
Yeah, I forgot to mention something, and just as you started to talk, and I do apologize, I know it's up there a long time, but, our last alliance meeting, we met with other communities. And we met with, Murray Hill, and we met with Liberty Park. What we're doing now is we want to expand what we've done on Liberty Hill. We want to touch other communities in the city, and even in the county, and in Dorchester and Berkeley County. Because all of the black neighborhoods around the country have the same set of situations. We need to now capitalize and come together and get a larger portion of funds so that we can get the work done. So we're looking to partner with every community in North Carolina that needs assistance. And we can show what we've done and use it as a model and assist other communities. We get calls all the time from other communities. And it's unfortunate that the monies that we received, it was only for Liberty Hill. Now we're gonna reach out and help as many communities as we can. So we're looking, the other presidents weren't available on our last meeting, but we're gonna have another meeting to have as many more as we can to come together. And this was something that we spoke to Mr. Millett about, and let him know that we did meet, and we are pushing forward with that plan so that we can get as many communities around the city, and again, the county, and Berkeley, and Dorchester counties as well. We want to do as much as we can because the need is there.
And that's the second Friday of every month. Andre Middleton is the chair, and Dexter Wright is the co-chair, and we're planning to invite the other presidents of the other communities each meeting. So we get some things done around North Charleston. And he mentioned Mr. Riley Millett. He is one of the directors.
Yeah, he's the executive director
For
Lampsey.
So we've been working closely with him. He's been meeting with us on a regular basis. Because there are plans for a grocery store, there are plans for a bank, and Lampsey's gonna hold our hand, and that's where the MOU comes in. We have to have that legal agreement. So it cannot be just with the redevelopment group, but it has to be with the neighborhood association, which is the improvement council. So with that said, we probably need to take a vote on whether the improvement council would agree to partner with Lampsey, although we are already in partnership to sign an MOU. And that way they will be a fiscal agent to be a buffer for us for the state, which we're looking to apply for another grant system to get $75,000 per house to rehab more houses. So because our county funds have dried up. Yes, ma'am.
Could you explain what MOU means?
Okay, it's a memorandum of understanding, and that way you have it spelled out. What our goal is, the Liberty Hill Improvement Council and the Liberty Hill Redevelopment Group and Lampsey, what our goals are together and how we work together. It explains all that. And I guess I can get a copy. Maybe we'll, for the next meeting, we'll get a copy to you all before then. That way you all can see it.
Is there a term or a length of time that would be in place?
It's still under discussion, but it is an agreement. You know, so both parties will have to agree on what the terms are. It's more or less the legalities to keep everyone safe. You know, and make sure that everyone is held accountable to make sure whatever the assignment is, that it is carried through. And it's worked well with us. We have several that has been done throughout the community. And also you mentioned Rodley Millette, but we have Rodley has a shared responsibility with Omar Muhammad, in which most of you have already seen or met at some of the meetings. He often comes to the Liberty Hill meetings as well and has been working with your president as well.
The acronym was LAMPC?
Yes,
L-A-M.
Low Country Alliance for Model Communities.
Okay. I know.
Yes.
Great.
Mhm.
And there's 11 communities under LAMPC.
Yes.
So what we'll do is get a copy of that to you all, or email it to you all. And if you have any questions, feel free to bring to us. I know LAMPC meets on Tuesday. I can send that link out to you all if you want to be at that meeting. I'm not sure if you're going to discuss that this Tuesday or not.
No,
No, okay.
not this Tuesday, but you're more than welcome to attend any of the meetings.
So there, I could just send that link out to everybody, but their meeting's on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll meet with you all first.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Any questions, concerns? Okay, so our next order of business is we had I think it would be a zoning hearing last week that we attended. I had got many phone calls about, it was a name change from Barnes Wilson Avenue to Ishmael Grant Avenue. And it was removed from the table. So the family may revisit it, which is fine. But I know we've had a lot of discussion about it. So I just want to let y'all know that that is on the table. They wanted to change Barnes Wilson to Ishmael Grant. And I think the compromise will probably end up being is maybe naming another street for Ishmael Grant. We've had so many suggestions. We've even had to, put Ishmael Grant on the East Montague corridor as a bypass because he was one of the founders. The William and Plenty of the Q were two founders. They have a street, and I think Aaron Milton is a founder. So we probably try to find a street for him, but we don't want to change the history that's already there because we've already submitted all that to the Preservation Office in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and we want to preserve the Barnes Wilson name. We used to have it at the North Charleston Academy, but they removed that. It used to be North Charleston Academy on the Barnes Wilson campus. That sign is no longer there. I don't know why. We may have to investigate why, but we want to bring that back. So we don't want to take our history away. We want to add to it. Yes, ma'am.
Do you know of all the artifacts that were there as well? There was like a room that had,
The annuals.
yeah, a lot. I know we built
That room should still be there. We visit that room.
Well, if they take the name down, I would not trust that it was still there. I would want to know
So we need to go visit that room and see.
personally.
There was a Barnes Wilson room. It had the annuals, it had some of the Barnes Wilson history in that room, bookshelves. It was like a lounge area. Yeah, we do need to check and see if it's still there, because that was one of the. It's still there. Thank you. Okay. So that was one of the things to preserve Barnes Wilson name.
It's the icon, right? That's what you're talking about, all the things that they had, like this, their uniform, their,
Yeah.
what is it? The
football players, and all that stuff.
Letter jackets and stuff. Oh, they had all that in
Roger
there?
left all that, and it was still there.
They're still there.
We had a meeting last week.
Beautiful. Okay, so you were there. So she says it's still there, which is a good thing. So we want to preserve the name because I know the Historical Society went to Charleston County Archives, school archives, and a lot of stuff was gone. And one of the ladies said that bonfire they had on the Bonsbolson property, a lot of stuff was burned in the barn. Like trophies and annuals and a lot of the history. So I'm glad they did preserve some. So that was good. But there was very few at the archives of the Charleston County. So we want to try to preserve our history as much as we can. But there's always a compromise, and we're working through all of that. Amen. So that's going to be on the table. So if you see that there's another hearing, that's all it is. But they said the family will come to us and we'll talk. No? Did you want to address anything? No. Okay. But that will probably be another conversation, I'm sure. Okay. Okay. All right. All right then. With that said, anything else? Any announcements moving forward? Any groups? Okay. Well, I think all our candidates running for District 8 is here, right? Come on up front. Come on up front. Let's see you. And is everybody here? We have Ms. Parker, Hudson, Simon, Gary. District 8, this is District 8. We're gonna give her all 1 minute. Can we do it?
Y'all don't want me up there. Excuse me.
Give everybody 1 minute. Tell us what you're gonna do first. Well, that's what we wanna know. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute. 1 minute, I don't know. You know, everybody wants to know what you're gonna do for Liberty Hill. We would love to hear that. And keep in mind, we're live streaming, so we got our Facebook friends as well as our YouTube. That's listening.
You're gonna take this off?
No, look into the camera and let us know.
Well, I'll start it off. Well, my name is Greg Perry. I grew up in North Charleston, in Century Oaks on the West Enterprise. I went to church on Nesbitt Avenue to Little Bethel Pentecostal Holiness Church. I've lived here my entire life. And one of the things, some of the things that I'm running on is just pretty much more investment in our communities. I think in 2019, the city of North Charleston stood outside of Felix Pinckney and they pledged $2 million to the African American Museum downtown Charleston. And one of the things that they said was that they were going to mention Liberty Hill in that museum. I think that's wonderful, but they stood outside of an outdated community center and pledged to send money downtown Charleston as opposed to investing in this community. I've lived here my entire life, and we have a Walmart down the street from this community. We have a Tanger Outlet, Boeing, and several other businesses from this community. And I feel like for the past 30 years, individuals have been bullying this community and have been taking our lunch money. I think it is my responsibility this year to run and to serve as a big brother to get our lunch money back. I want to make certain we have more investment in our community, that we have critical repairs to some of the homes that we have in our community, that we use the federal funding, community development block grant money that is used to invest in affordable housing, infrastructure, roads, and community centers, and several other things in moderate to low income communities, and invest in our community, and that we put technology in our community centers, which to assist with giving those folks that live here developmental tools that they need for successful learning outcomes, and that we make them a marketable talent and get them gainful employment. So that's some of the things that I'm running on. You said 2 minutes exactly.
2 minutes exactly.
Thank you. Well, you're the time.
Okay, you're a great timekeeper. Okay, next.
I'm William Parker. This is my second time running for city council. I ran against Bob King in the last election, and I am very happy for the opportunity that Liberty Hill, as well as Charleston Farms and Woodford Barony have as District 8 has grown. I am shocked by the racial divide that has come out of City Hall and the fact that this community and others have been left out while $43 million goes on the other side of the railroad tracks. I'm sick and tired of the lack of historic preservation for the communities that started North Charleston. And I'm tired of the transit systems that delay and disobey what needs to happen for those that need to get around. I'm tired of it. I want to make sure City Hall is putting everything it can into these communities, not to those that have already made their way. I've been doing research on this community, and our biggest problem right now is that we have a lot of real estate grab going on. I think you guys would be shocked at the number of lots that have been snatched up by multinational corporations in this neighborhood. So gentrification is on the way. We've got to do something when it comes to heirs property, and we've got to stand up as a community to say, we're not going to go down the path as everybody else. At the same time, we've got to get this community more on the ledger. I am just incredibly, it's amazing, the subcommittees. The fact that this community's had to almost support itself with its groups and it isn't getting the help from the outside or the funds from the outside that it well deserves. There's a beautiful thing going on here, but the money needs to come in, the outside support, the outside services need to come in. And this is the best election we've got, with the greatest opportunity to take the Go-Boys out of the system and take race out of the picture and communicate amongst the communities. Te hablo español, es muy importante de elecciones aquí. My name is William Parker, and I really hope that you vote for me. We're going to take this community back and race it in a part of it. Thank you.
And my name is Andre Middleton. I grew up in this neighborhood, and something I found out while running is that my grandfather provided the land for the property on charity. He gave charity sold the property to them for $1. And so I found that out by campaigning and talking to my aunt. But the reason I'm running is because I definitely want to make a difference for my community. This is where I'm from. I love Liberty Hill. And what I want to do for us is I want to give us a voice. I want us to have a voice. There's a lot of things that happen, and I had questions as to why. I couldn't understand. You know, it's like all these, just like William was saying, all these things are being done throughout the city, but things still look the same on Liberty Hill. The center that we have, that's the same center I went to free lunch to when I was a little boy, and nothing has changed. And I look at a park and I see the playground what they have. I think what we had when I was kids looks better than what they have now. And so I really want to make a difference. I want to make sure that we have a voice, and not only on Liberty Hill, but all the other neighborhoods similar to Liberty Hill. I want to make sure that there's inclusion. And I had a person ask me, how do we move forward without making the people in Park Circle feel bad about what's going on with them? Like, you know, like it's unfair. And I was like, well, nobody's mad at Park Circle. My thing is, Park Circle is the standard. We want everyone, we just want what they have. Let everyone spread the wealth. Spread the wealth, give us an opportunity to have what they have. And so I'm here running because I want to make sure that we have representatives. When they're making decisions, I want to be able to come back to the community and let us know this is why this is happening. And we need your voice, we need engagement. So we can all, I can't do it by myself, but we can do it together. So that's why I'm running.
I'm Kay Hyman, and I've lived just down the street for 63 years. I'm living in my childhood home. I went to North Charleston High School. My husband went to Bonds Wilson. I'm extremely invested in this community. I love what everyone here has said, but I do know that city councilmen only have X amount of power. But what I have is power in my voice and in my negotiating abilities and my abilities to communicate across the board. I've been doing it for many, many years with the Charleston Ale Society, and I know that I am the perfect person to bring us all together to be able to garner the resources that we all need to make this community, to level it up, get it to the position where it needs to be. It's painful for me to see how much of the history is disappearing. Just, you know, I have nothing against the Grant family. I know they're part of this development of this community, but Bonds Wilson, I feel like it's just being erased from our community. And it's part of the history, and I hope that you do find a solution and find another street to name. And that's just my opinion. I don't live in this community, but just knowing the history of Bonds Wilson and knowing, how things keep slowly being erased. And I'm so glad that you know that those artifacts are still there. And they were not represented in a way that I felt like should have been. So I hope to be able to be a voice to help this community, to help all the communities to work together. My husband got a grant. He was the neighborhood council president at Palmetto Gardens. The grant to put just a little history for you guys, to put the palmetto trees on Montague. They were supposed to go all the way through Liberty Hill, and they cut that off. Wow. Yeah, and the city did that. So, it's a long time coming. Sorry.
Hard to follow up all these folks. My name's Brandon. I'm running for District 8. I've lived in Park Circle and in District 8 since 2014. I've got a 4-year-old and a wife. I'm running because it's Bob King stepping down. We're going to have a lot of new council people. We're going to have a new mayor. So it's a really good opportunity and an important opportunity to have somebody who understands what council people can do is capable of working to advance the needs of our community. So I have a lot of experience. I'm the HOA president of our neighborhood. I deal with all the same things as a council person. I deal with our budgeting. I deal with our long and short-term planning. I deal with our neighborhood conflicts, all these things that translate directly into a role in city council. I also am very involved in the community. My wife and I helped to restart the Charleston Farms Community Garden about 6 years ago. We work in that community every single day. We helped to get the community garden in Liberty Hill restarted.
Exactly.
And we're up here, I was up here today, just doing some more irrigation stuff so we can get some more plants in the ground. And just being here and being in the community, and I'm new to Liberty Hill, and I would love to continue to be in Liberty Hill and work with y'all, and I will, because I'm already here. So none of that's going to change, except I can continue to be more and more involved and engaged. The big things that I want to work on as a council person, and they're not specific to Liberty Hill, but a lot of them are, but they're all District 8 and all of North Charleston, because we're all dealing with a lot of the same things, is first of all dealing with cleaning up our neighborhoods, just putting in more trash cans, making sure our parks are nice and clean, and that we can just walk out of our house and be proud of where we are. And that's a problem everywhere, and especially in Liberty Hill and Charleston Farms and some of these other communities. Another thing that's kind of boring, but it's a big deal, is we want to do a lot, but if we don't update the zoning policy in our city, we can't do anything. There's a lot of stuff that you can't build right now, or downtown, you can't build anything. I'll finish just a second. And then promoting pedestrian safety, like we were talking about with narrowing the lanes and all that kind of stuff on Montague, and then just continuing to protect this neighborhood and other neighborhoods like it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for them? Anybody?
This might not be a question, but since you mentioned, I think someone else mentioned about narrowing the lane. I remember when the lanes was narrow. Okay, I'm telling my age now, but I'll be 72.
Not worse than Carriage though.
I'll be 72 on the 29th of this month, so I'm proud of my age. But I remember when it was one lane, the train would come across and stop. Traffic would back up. This is why they widened the roads. So now did y'all take in consideration of that when you're talking about?
Palm trees.
Huh?
Palm trees. Adding the palm trees.
No. When you
So when they say narrow, they're not talking about, and I'm speaking a little bit for the city, because this is a master plan that as you mentioned, it's been in the works for a number of years. And so it's, in this particular instance, they're not talking about deleting any lanes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're talking about just taking that suicide lane, making it, and I don't know, did they share all this with you?
Yeah, well,
I'll let you speak to it, I don't want to.
Go right ahead.
Okay. But yeah, so they want to turn that into green space because it provides a safer path for crossing. because, you know, that road really cuts the neighborhood down. So if you can provide a better opportunity for people to safely cross by putting in medians, and then green spaces obviously uplift the whole area, they make it more beautiful, putting in trees along the side, widening the sidewalks, adding alternative transit lanes like bike lanes and stuff that don't just go to nowhere, but that they go to public transit. So that's the master plan, and that's what they're trying to do. So yeah, they say narrow, but it's like a technical narrowing. I'm with you, it sounds confusing.
Right, when you.
But yeah, they just
explain it,
mean
fine.
narrowing it, and like when you're in a car and you drive down that road, like somebody mentioned earlier, people do like 70 down that road because it feels like a highway. But if you give the perception of narrowing a road, you can not reduce lanes, but you can make people feel like they're tight and they slow down. So it's a natural calming method, and you can do that all over the place, and it's really effective.
And if you notice, Montague Avenue, we have that middle lane, basically, that you can.
That turning lane, you
to
turn
get to
right.
the side. So they are planning to do on both sides a bike lane or any lane, so that it won't cause a problem as far as.
Not parking.
No, not parking. Not parking. And hopefully, the whole goal is to slow down the traffic, and people will have to start just going somewhere else instead of coming to Liberty Hill.
Yeah, but what about the train? I'm just concerned about that.
We're gonna get helicopters. We're
Yeah,
gonna lift the train.
we need that train to go.
The train is a big issue, that
We
the
need
train
that.
traffic is expected to triple over the next 4 years from the port. So
Wow.
that's not quite addressed in that plan. But it is the main spur that's coming out of here, and, you know, having some kind of walkway, overhead walkway, something to traverse that, is we're gonna see a tripling of train traffic on that track.
And what they did, because the train was stopped on the track, fire trucks and ambulance couldn't get across. People had died waiting on.
That's been an issue in Charleston
Yes.
Farms too.
So what they did, they had them coming at a certain time, early in the morning before people woke up. But then when I moved away and I came back home, and I noticed now that it's coming all time of day.
All day.
So I don't know what changed,
Yeah.
but when y'all, taking all that in consideration, when y'all,
Yeah.
whichever one of y'all get on city council, in the decision making, you know, just take all that in consideration, because like it has been said, we got elderly people on Liberty Hill. You know, we don't want the train to come and stop when we need the ambulance or the fire truck.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
know, so
Totally.
I'm just throwing that out at you, just to take that in consideration.
Yeah, and that's what's nice, and I'm speaking, I guess I apologize for everybody when I say, regardless who's in there, it is an issue for next council. And in the current council, I respect that a lot of this stuff, they know that their time has come, and it's time to let the new folks make those decisions and be able to take the time, instead of pushing it through, to get a victory at the end of their term, to let the new folks do that. So certainly, I think I speak for everybody that that's gonna be a priority.
And you had your kids, I mean, mornings when kids gotta go to school, they have to be to school at 8:30, these kids are jumping on the stop train to jump over to go
I
to
see
school.
that, I see that. Yeah, because
You
I have to
know,
take that
and
route
then
to
they're
take my
still walking,
kids to
kids
school.
tardy are late to school.
Yeah. I go all the way back down Virginia and bring my kid, to get my kid around it. I don't even try anymore.
I have a question directly to you, Brian. Yes. Did y'all do the flower bed at Felix Picnic, you and your wife,
Which flower bed?
in the back?
In the wooden beds?
Right.
Yes,
Beautiful.
thank you. We just pulled everything out, but,
The kids, were like over the senior building.
oh, we did not do that one.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
But
the
I'm
flower
saying
which
that
the
I'm over the
seniors?
senior building.
Yeah.
And I would love, you know, to see that happen over there.
Yeah, we've been working with this group. We can talk after the meeting.
Okay.
I'd love to talk.
Okay.
That's not a city council question. I don't want to steal everybody's.
Yes, Mr.
I heard you mention, about bringing up the quality of living, not to make the people who are already advanced wait while we get caught up, or to get the communities caught up. Does anybody have any ideas on how you can traverse that incorporate that into a process where you get the communities that have been disadvantaged to get caught up to those, and at the same time, meanwhile, getting those who are already moving along to still feel comfortable with their progress.
I personally, $43 million went over there. I know it will upset some people, but the money needs to go to the communities that need it most. The biggest issue is gentrification. If the money comes in, then you're gonna see the affordability of living not be here. I have a plan so that we can subsidize some of the housing in the city, allow teachers, firemen, police, and city workers. If we can subsidize some of that housing through the city to make it affordable, that affects the affordability of all the homes around it. But we are behind the ball because it's being snatched up left and right. It's very important that we take, I have mentors in Austin and Bayou La Battery and in Louisiana on city council that I talk to about these problems, because that is the biggest issue that we're facing, is the affordable housing problem. So this is something that has to be tackled, number one. The other thing is that the city services you receive, they're not like city services that are received on the other side of the railroad tracks. It's black and white, and I'm tired of it. So the first thing is to implement and make sure that the same city services that are done in well taken care of communities are here, and to a bigger and grander scale. That's number one. But two, it has to go inside of a plan of how do we do this and not make the community unaffordable for the people that already live there.
So, William's correct. Right now, North Charleston, we're the third largest city in the state. In the next 7 to 10 years, North Charleston will become the largest city in the state. We're also the wealthiest city in the state. But if you get in your car and drive throughout the city, you'll notice that the wealth of the city is just not distributed equally. We have pockets of success. The goal is to use the funds that we currently have and have that critical repair that you guys are currently doing in communities like this. That we use the federal funding that we get, and that we dedicate that money to communities like this to invest, like I said earlier, in affordable housing, that we invest in community centers, that we invest in the infrastructure, the roads in our communities, and that we have a dedicated grant department in the city that looks for funding for projects like this, so that we can not only just have affordable housing, that we can keep the housing that we currently have, and that we can remain affordable. So that's the goal, and it is absolutely possible. I think it comes from also just having relationships with individuals, not only in City Hall, but in the State House and in DC. I have those relationships, working with those folks, getting the funding from Columbia and DC to bring it to our local municipalities and investing in our communities. So that's how we do that.
So I think state's great, but if we can just keep it local, that's better. And it already works. They did it in Union Heights, and we can do it here. So they worked with the county, the city, and a private developer that lived in the neighborhood. He moved in, he became invested in the neighborhood, and the county pitched in money, and they had grants that were specific for people who already owned homes to improve existing homes, uplift their values. The developer worked with the city to buy some of the derelict lots. Then they built those homes to be income-based. So one of my best friends who's not able to afford a home, those homes were built to meet, you had to meet certain income standards. He was able to afford his first home in Charleston. Like, that's crazy. On a single income nowadays, that's impossible. So he has his first home because of that program. Other people moved in and encouraged more development in the area. But again, the community was involved at every step of the way. They didn't have to wait on any federal funds or anything like that. And now that neighborhood is really moving in a really positive trajectory. If you go down there, you can see they're building more and more of those homes with the city, the state, and the local community all working together without displacing anybody. And I think that's the key. We all talk about affordable housing, but we just don't want to get kicked out of our own neighborhood, right? Like, even I live down here, and I can't afford to live in the house that we bought 4 years ago. I mean, it's crazy. Like, if we wanted to move, we couldn't move. So it's about maintaining our neighborhood, right? Like, I've knocked on a lot of doors, and y'all are all talking about, you want to stay, like nobody wants to leave. This is a wonderful community. So I think it's important that we just work to uplift together, and like the existing homes, just make sure that they're livable. And then we can start to redevelop some of those other lots too. And you can do that quickly, as long as you're just working locally with builders they're gonna make money, and that's fine. But if they're gonna make money, then that's gonna encourage them to stay. I'm sorry.
Because we don't want them to make money at the expense of.
Right, yeah, you don't want to kick people out, but.
Or the character of the community. You don't want to lose that character. You don't want to lose the heritage that's here and the heirs property. You want to make sure that when people do come in and do developments, that they fit within your parameters of how your community looks. You know, that's the key, the character of the community and keeping the heart of this community together. I really am not going to say more about that because, you know, I'm living in a house that was built in 1941 and some of you are as well, so I don't want to change it.
So how do we keep the taxes down where the older residents don't?
There's a big issue and a crisis that's coming up in our tax structure in North Charleston. Just like the city of Charleston, we have a race to get on the other side of Highway 61. Who could grab as much land as possible? The curse on it is that basically to not raise taxes, we've got to annex that land, have new homes built, because they're bearing the brunt of the tax burden. Well, now we've kind of run out of land. So what does that mean? Where every single lot is going to end up with multifamily housing, three-story buildings on the smallest lots that are there, because they're going to have that tax revenue somewhere. And a lot of that money is coming from outside investors, so they can put renters into those properties instead of home ownership.
We don't want that.
So it is a tough line to say, and the accommodations tax. So the accommodations tax in the city works where basically we built some nice, beautiful football fields and a world-class 10-lane swimming pool, so that people will come to the hotels, and that's a big source of revenue for the city. What happened when COVID happened? Basically, the city took a tremendous tax dive because we had these facilities, and the taxes are on the hotels and your accommodations, but there was no income, and there's going to be another COVID coming. So tax structure, I own small businesses, I'm a financial advisor, and it is what is coming to say what is going on in other places. How can we make sure that tax structure doesn't change for the residents that are here and go up? And so it's a very delicate line, but what we have going on right now is unfeasible into the future, and it actually makes gentrification happen faster because we have to have that development on every single empty lot to keep taxes as they are.
So you guys did just what I really wanted you guys to do. You guys addressed the topic issues, the top issues. But what about the structure issues where we educate people on how to maintain and obtain to afford jobs that they can afford to live in the community and live in it? Nobody's stressing the issues in the school system or talking about the school system and restructuring trade schools for our community, our young men to get jobs so they can afford to live. Nobody wants to go back to the coon days. You know, everybody wants to live in a nice house. Everybody wants to live in a nice community. But affordability is what you guys are screaming. That's the problem, making it affordable. Why are we trying to downsize affordability when we can re-educate our kids to afford what they want to live in?
So I agree.
So getting the education, so getting into the school system, developing a trade school in the school system, developing advanced technology trades inside our school system, computer technology, you know, going after jobs, aerodynamic jobs that are right here in our community, Boeing, Mercedes, Volvo, Amazon, these jobs that our communities, our kids in our communities can't get because our schools in our community don't meet the standard where they actually can compete to get those jobs. So, you know, I mean, I understand that, you know, we want to keep everything affordable, but, you know, what's affordable when you can't afford it?
Well, I agree with both things that you said. First, you know, again, growing up in North Charleston, I had an older brother. We lived in Century Oaks, lived in the same house, in the same hood with the same mom. He and I were polar opposites. We didn't make the same decisions. You know, I wasn't always a good kid. You know, had some, you know, some tussles, even on Montague and Nesbitt and Gaynor. You know, and back then I was fighting on the hill, now I'm fighting for the hill. But his decision was he ended up going to, made some bad decisions, ended up going to prison. Got a GED, right? Came out, went to Garrett Academy in the evening, became an electrician. Now he makes more money than me legitimately. Because if everybody is a doctor and everybody's a lawyer, who's gonna be our electricians, our plumbers, and our mechanics, right? So I think, again, investing in our community centers, and that's what that federal funding that's given to all municipalities to invest in community centers as well. in putting technology inside it, those technology and helping folks continue their education, making them, like you just said, marketable talent, getting that gainful employment and making them be able to afford some of those houses, and also just having affordable housing. I think when we talk to developers, we have those philanthropic capital working with nonprofits as well, and investing in affordable housing and dedicating some of those homes that they're building for affordable housing for some folks, because everybody can't afford a $500,000 house. Right now in North Charleston, we got in Park Circle, some houses, 1,600 square feet being sold for $700,000. And then once you sell your home, you can't afford to buy another house in North Charleston. You're moving to Moncks Corner. At first, it was downtown moving to North Charleston. Then it was North Charleston moving to, now North Charleston moving to Moncks Corner, and Moncks Corner to St. Stephen's, and St. Stephen's. Eventually, we're gonna end up in King Street. So the goal is to get to make certain that we work with developers, that we get that philanthropic capital, that we work with nonprofits, and we have dedicated homes for affordable housing, and that we invest in our community centers, and we have that education, and we give folks the ability to get those trades like my brother did. I went to college, but he got a trade and makes more money than me. And get those trades, and then we can better our community, and we can be a thriving community.
I'm going to address your question directly. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been on a mission to figure out how to address that question. And unbeknownst to some, less than a mile away is a trade school. It's called Cooper River Academy. I was against Garrett. Folding Garrett was one of the worst decisions that I believe that we've made. You got Cooper River Academy over there that is teaching skills, trades, electricity, food services. However, it's right on Montague.
Right across from
Right across from my house. So we have a trade academy that nobody has even heard about. So basically, I've been looking into how is it possible that the community keeps coming and saying, hey, we need to invest in students for trades. Now, this is more important than anything. You're going to find that AI is getting rid of a lot of white collar jobs. You're not going to find a lot of salesmen out there. You're not going to find a lot of telemarketers. Money is going to go into the trades of the hands. And we've got the facility right down the road, but nobody even knows about it. Well, the bigger question that I've been probing out there is, do we need to separate from CCSD? Because only 15% of that school comes from the 3 districts that live around it because of school choice. So basically, students that are in that school are coming from Mount Pleasant. They're coming from West Ashley. They're not coming from the communities that need it. And basically, if you look at the population there, if you want to segregate it into the race, which I don't think is the correct thing to look at, it's not representative of the community around it by far. So, you know, I love the mayor to death. About 12 years ago, I did it now. The guy likes to build big, shiny buildings. I don't know why he does, but he just loves shiny buildings. And that school was supposed to take care of Garrett, supposed to, the community needs are supposed to be met to treat those trades here locally. And once they folded Garrett, what happened? It became part of the Charleston County school system, and now we don't see our community, the ones that need it, they're learning those trades. So it is a bigger question of, do we look at separating North Charleston into its own school district so that we can walk and go to school as I thought I did as a child, instead of having kids bust in from all around. I think it's a shame we have a multi-million-dollar facility over there, and people around here don't even know you can go there and learn how to be an electrician.
I think it's a little bit more to it than that as it pertains to the school, because I think one of the challenges that we face is our kids being qualified to go to the school. So there's qualifications that you have to meet in order to go to the school. And I think another big thing with all the issues that you guys are bringing up today is the same thing that's going on here with all these bright people with all these bright ideas. We got to come to the table. And after this election, I hope all of us are still here with the same bright ideas and the same focus and the energy to make these things happen. Because that's the whole thing. You know, before this election stuff started, I was in the community. I'm in the community now. I'm going to be in the community afterwards. I just hope that we all are, because that's what it's going to have to take. It's not going to be one person that has all the ideas. It's going to have to take all of us with all of our bright ideas coming to the table. Because the issues that we have, it takes a lot. And it's been going on for a long time. So it's going to take a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of people coming together to make the changes that we need.
We're calling in your super friends.
Super friends, that's right. Super friends, bring your superpower to the table. And all of us have it. So you just got to dig in your heart and figure out what's your thing, what's your issue. Bring it to the table and champion that issue, because we need you.
Time's up. It was 8 o'clock.
If I can ask this question, one of the major and serious problems is the discipline because they need parenting programs in these schools.
Right, and not only not the schools, I think the parenting program in our communities. We need to start using our community centers because that's the key. Now the communities can begin to wrap our arms around these people. Because the thing is, a lot of that stuff when we were growing, when I was growing up, it was the people in the community. My mom didn't have to really say a whole lot because I know Miss Mamie is right there and she's watching. And she's going, I don't want to have a problem with Miss Mamie because I know she's going to pass it on to my mom, who's going to pass it on to my father. And so I think that engagement, community engagement, and people beginning to care again, and that's on us.
I think the most beautiful thing that you all are going to find is there's a regime change coming, a big one. And whichever one of us gets elected, I can tell you the impact is going to be significant. There's been a lot of racism, a lot of have and have-nots. And it's going to change one way or the other. And so be happy for the new day, whatever it may be.
But there's plans in place already to give at least 3 community centers right around.
Not gonna happen on my watch.
Already. So I just want y'all to know that and help fight for our community centers.
Yes.
Because
You guys should be so proud.
it's already on the docket.
You guys should be so proud, because I've gone to so many community meetings, and y'all are the strongest community I have seen out of all of them. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me how, the second generation, Andre, and all your committees, you got it going on. It's amazing. Very, very proud of you. Very proud of
It's a model that, I have all these meetings, how many subcommittees do they have? None. They have no subcommittees. To see the organization that you guys have is incredible. My fear is, that's because you've had to take care of yourself because you've had a lack of support.
That's right.
Well, and I'll say this, and just what Kate just said a few moments ago, we've been to several community meetings, we've had several community forums, and this is probably the most engagement we've received. You guys have questions. I think I stood in front of groups and I've said, any more questions? But I feel like y'all got more questions, and I feel like we need to cut y'all off in a second.
Yeah.
But this is amazing. But and this comes from, like someone said, this comes from community. Growing up in Century Oaks, someone said, I was telling someone, I said, I grew up in underserved, overlooked community, and there would be days where I would look across the street to Miss Joyce's house to get eggs, go to Miss Libby's house to get rice, and then go to Miss Price's house to get some butter, and I have the eggs and rice for a meal. Because when you get community and we come together, we can all thrive, we can live and survive. So I think that's what Liberty Hill has been for since I've been a kid, growing up on Desert Avenue with the Elliots, living in this area, living right next to Liberty Hill. It has been a community that has thrived because it's been a community that's helped each other. And I think that what we do, what you guys do here, and what we do in Liberty Hill, we can spread it throughout the entire district.
Thank you. Thank you all. Like William Parker, thank you.
So what year did you graduate?
1983.
We'll talk afterwards. But yeah, so y'all, if y'all can, have a little holiday, like I said, we got the details, got Ackley in here, and another in Charleston Farm, so Liberty Hills being put on the map. Oh, the price is $10. Okay, hearts and minds clear, hearts and minds clear. Okay, let's close out prayer.
We all right, prayer, please.
And all eyes and brothers.
Father God, we come to you under the window how thank you for this meeting. Father God, we thank you and we ask that you bless each one of us that's standing here. Father God, we ask you to bless our family and those in the community. 6 Chattons. Father God, we ask that we ain't on it in this meeting, that you guide and direct us and bless it. And bless us till we see again, each other again. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank y'all for coming. Travel safely home. Thank
Y'all got a lot of good bags?
We directed to you.